pray for me? Only begun, just wait and see, yeah. Hey, knock, knock, knock. Yep, I heard the block is hot. Wait, that might be the ops. Wait till we get to the top. Look, wait a sec, shows it out the check. Still got no regrets. Boy, my pap been set since 1997. When you in the set, but you ain't from the set. Never fit in that, so it's village till I'm dead. Just got born again, but talking like a vet. Spirit on me can't get caught without the tech. In a lonely place, yeah, my whole life a mess. Y'all ain't met me there, I tied it on my neck. Ooh. West side and I'm tapped in. I'm on no cap like a Baptist. I'm on light movie, no acting. I'm on white bad but no actress. Bro, I'm too old for them tactics. And these miracles, no magic. Cause I might flow but no hat tricks in my, yup. Ayy, hometown was still lacking. Put them all on my back then. Didn't know me, that's back then. Funny thing how an M turned into an L on the back end. So I'm any tribe to the casket. I got no boss in my masters. And it's 4 a.m. What's a holiday? Daddy work like 80 hours a week. I'm only on the way. Trying to keep my mind off my depression. At least that's what I say. Grandma died and I was in a session. She no light of day. Whoa. Hey, money can't fix that. Mamas can't get back. Trying to keep every single promise that the kid had. Trying to find a way to stay honest in this thing, man. And tell you where I've been, but it's so crazy. Look, my God made a way for me. Only going up, would you pray for me? Only begun, just wait and see, yeah. Hey, knock, knock, knock. Yep, I heard the block is hot. Wait, that might be the ops. Wait till we get to the top. Yeah, I don't need no rollie if I ain't getting no time of day. All this smoke is holy, the altar color we running phase. When I talk to my OGs, they say I'm juicing on OJ. Don't piss on my bros, that be KO and not OK. John, how you talking that vet talk? You ain't even in old age. God made me his kid, I can't get stuck in my old ways. Shout out to my day ones, while we ain't that boy Noah James. You don't know where we been, you be drop like
no way.
Hold up, wait a sec, shows it out the check. Still got no regrets. Boy, my pap been set since 1997. When you in the set, but you ain't from the set. Never fit in that, so it's village till I'm dead. Just got born again, but talking like a vet. Spirit on me can't get caught without the tech. In a lonely place, yeah, my whole life a mess.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. 1 2 1 3 5 7 8 10 12 14 16. A lot of them different numbers. I'm trying to come up with more numbers because honestly, like, there should be a whole situation with numbers. Welcome, you guys, to Faithful to God Radio Show, aka F2G Radio Network. I am one of your hosts, B Snow. I am the not only the creative director but also the founder of F2G Network as a whole. We exist to create a space for consistency, for motivation, for encouragement. Inside and outside of the church. And we love you guys 100%. Welcome to F2G Fridays. That's our little thing over here, and we love you guys so good. I hope y'all week has been well, because my week has been busy. Like, very, very, very busy. Literally almost like a 60-hour work week, off and on with different projects. So that's kind of been a whole situation, but I am so glad to be here in the spot with y'all. Make sure that you guys are doing me a huge favor and prepare your hearts to go into prayer. We're going to go ahead and do that like we always do, which I'm really excited about the fact that we are growing in prayer. For everybody who has grown in their devotion, y'all are doing amazing. And if you just started, man, you're still doing amazing, period. So let's go into prayer. Father, in the mighty and matchless name of Jesus, God, we thank you for this time. We honor you, Lord God, for everything that you've done, Lord God, for this week. We thank you, Father, for giving us a push, Lord God, to be better than we were last week. Lord God, we thank you for this moment to be alive, and we do not take it for granted, Father, just to do a broadcast. But we thank you, Lord God, for everything that you've done, and we ask you, Lord God, to be in this space. Allow us to fellowship, allow us to laugh, allow us to learn, allow us to be ones that will be submitted before you and to see you as us being glorified. We give you all glory, honor, and praise because you're the only one that can handle it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Now, I want everybody in the Radio Land world. If you're on F2G Radio.net, there is a reason, and we have one. I feel like we have an interesting interview on tonight. I ain't gonna cap. It's a whole situation. We this is our first time meeting this woman. But before we even get into that, I want y'all to be able to feel excited about what we're about to be talking about. So let's go down the list of the things that we need to take care of, the due diligence. For everybody who does not know, we are on Instagram and on Facebook within our social media platforms. This broadcast right now, however, is exclusively on F2GRadio.net. So for everybody who wants to listen in, go ahead and go to F2GRadio.net for everyone to be able to listen in and also to be able to take part. You feel what I'm saying? Live, love, and all the good. You get what I'm saying. So make sure you guys are going to F2GRadio.net to be able to hear everything that we're doing here. Also, to hear this broadcast rebroadcasted, make sure you're tuning in next week. I believe. Saturday, Sunday. Yep, on Monday. Make sure you guys are tuning in at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time to hear this rebroadcast on F2GRadio.net. What you guys just got done hearing was 97 by John Keith, and he's one of my favorite artists, period. But before I go into any further details, I have to make sure that I'm bringing alongside my co-host, mighty God, the woman of the mother of Zion. Okay, she gonna kill me because whole time she giving me that face. Listen, we're non-denominational, but we got a whole Baptist background, so let's just go ahead and bring the woman onto the stage. Jeez Louise, you should unmute and yell at me then.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Like seriously, you're showing out tonight.
I'm so sorry. I do apologize. I did not mean to call you the mother of Zion. That makes you sound extremely old, and you're not. So sorry.
I was like, oh, of Zion. Wow, that was a straight hit. Hey, y'all. Hey, it's your girl, Tennille. How are you? Live right here on the radio with you for F2G Fridays. And I'm so excited to be back in my good seat, y'all. It's been, 3 weeks? We miss you, Tammy. But, I'm so happy to be back and excited about what we're doing. So, be slow. Let's talk about this. First thing, I know our guest.
You feel me? It's
a while ago.
Really?
Yes.
So, okay, this is my first time meeting her.
Yes.
Yo, that's major. That's major. Because that means I get to learn. I'm gonna be taking one of my notepad.
And believe me, it's a very interesting and special spirit to learn from. You're going to be able to receive a lot in this conversation. I think we were around each other for a weekend, and I met her in Atlanta. So this is hot.
Wait, how did you meet her in Atlanta?
At the Writers Retreat, the Women's Writers Retreat.
Oh, oh crap! I didn't know. I did not know.
Just amazing all the way around the board. But just to make sure that we don't spoil too much before we get with her, before her interview actually starts, because we have a habit of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna try to break that habit today. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. Okay, so talk to me about your week. Like you said, your week was tiring. You had a lot going on. You've been really busy. Tell the people what's been going on in your life this week.
Man, look at here. I've had a whole situation. Like, day job has been a situation, making sure that I'm, what I'm saying, getting the paper, securing the bag, as we all say.
That bag.
But also, that bag can be very open. That's fine. The bag for me, I'm noticing now, like, when you secure the bag, is really, it takes up a lot of your time, especially if you don't have a lot of it to give.
Look, secure the bag and make sure it's full. That's what you're doing. You're making sure that the bag is full. Because you don't want to.
I'm trying to make sure the bag is full so that I can make sure that the refrigerator is full. That's because I wanna make sure that, you feel what I'm saying, that we
refrigerator.
my eternal refrigerator, the stomach that consumes everything. Listen to me, it's a whole situation, bro.
He calls a stomach, the never ending.
It's never, hear me. It's never ending, but at the same time, you still gotta feel it. Either way, I gotta be satisfied somehow with the food. But still, like, it's just it's a lot of work. especially with trying to become your own adult and not really relying on help.
Oh,
I need help often.
let's
I ain't gonna
talk
care.
about this adulting thing
No,
real quick.
no, no. We're
We
not
got
gonna do
about
that. We're not gonna. No,
7 minutes.
no,
No, we don't talk about this because this was serious.
no. I don't
Because
want to.
I know that our guest is a mom too, so I can't wait for her to come on.
Why did you wait a minute? Now,
Oh my
hold on. This is a gang situation. I feel like I'm getting jumped on.
You
You keep bringing moms on here like that's gonna. Next time I'm bringing a son on here. Watch it.
Okay,
It's
bring
gonna
this
be a
on.
thing.
I say bring the kid. I'm good for that.
No, we ain't gonna bring no kids. We gonna bring an adult that's a son that understands what I'm going through.
Let's
Because
talk
it's
about
it's
the
like
fact
it's just
the
it's
fact
like
that on my
10 against
TikTok-
1, my boy.
Oh,
Like
I'm gonna bring this up while you're trying to avoid it. On
Lord
TikTok,
Jesus.
right? So we got my page up on TikTok. There are videos that reveal that this third right here is he went. Y'all remember I told y'all he was grumped, right? So that was like he turned 18, grown, but with a T. So I'm the T, so the grumped assistant right there. That's what we went to grumped, right? Okay, so when he turned 22, we started working on him not being grown no more. It's time for you to be grown. Get your thing. He 24. We took the T off at 22. Why is this brother adulting with assistance? Why?
You know
And he has
what?
decided that did not work out well.
Here's my issue with this, right? And this is where different perspectives come into play. I am one who does not like to get things wrong when you don't have that many chances to correct them, right? So for me, let's take an example. Let's take an example of one. If I'm at a store, if I'm grabbing situations, and if I'm pretty much going to the store for you, and you're asking me for a list of situations that is causing a list of situations,
Gotcha.
right? If I'm going there and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm calling you. Just know that when I call you, I'm going to ask you to break down. Because here's my thing, I'm your son. I am your offspring. I am stepping in as your representative when you're not in Walgreens with me. So just know that but here's the thing, as an independent human away from the umbilical cord, I have my own mind. My mind is not like your mind. So let me call you and pick your brain, as they say, to get all the information. Mighty God.
So this is the issue I have with that. The issue I have with that is that you continually.
Oh yes. Oh, listen here.
You call me every time you go to the
Yes.
You
Yes, I do.
call me several times while you're in there. I'm
Yes, I
like,
do.
that's good information. Call me with all your questions. And then stop. Because I was in the middle of a TikTok and you kept calling. So I made
here's the major thing, and I'm gonna zoom in on my face. Mighty God, where my button? There we go. I'm gonna zoom in for those who are not on this broadcast or can't see us until you go to patreon.com/F2G. That's another disclaimer. If you're not over there, then you need to, you become a patron, man. Become a patron, patreon.com/F2G to see this broadcast the way we acting it out. But if you can't see me, you definitely can hear me. Right now, I just zoomed into my face because I need to make this known to everybody who is in this age and in this time and has a mother who is an influencer in the earth. Do not make her an influencer on social media. It is the worst thing that you could ever do. Do not do that, because you are setting yourself up for major trouble. It is not good. I showed this lady TikTok, and she just and she got followers. Why do you have followers? You should have one. Me. I should be your only follower. Bro, like, what are we doing here?
Before there was a me, and my energy you have taken on as you call yourself my offspring. So know that the only reason why I have followers is because people actually like me in my first
No. Yeah. Here's another thing too. Right? Yeah, people like you, and then you got the dudes that be in your DM. No. No, ma'am.
But I do miss the
I
announcement.
can't deal with that, man.
So I know how to deal with that because we got a few minutes before we bring on our guest. So I'm gonna deal with the DM thing. I am a believer that if you join somebody's DM and start talking to them, you should not first thing ask them all of their personal information. Where you live
That's
at? How
that's
old are
scam
you?
likely.
What's your name?
That's
I'm like,
scam.
that's scammer, right? So I have this thing. I've been told that I'm more like an FBI agent than anything else. I will definitely go and search you out, find out who you've been talking to, see how many of my friends you with. I start to contact them. We're asking a lot of questions, and I make sure that all of the women that you contacted know that you're a scammer. That's the first thing. The second thing is that if you're in my DM and you talking to me, I don't know you. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you is, bruh, jump on the video because I want to see your face. If you ain't on there in 5 seconds, I'm jumping off. Now, mind you, that I'm not on the DM to be flirting with anybody. I don't do that. But I just like to get them, right? While they in there, because I don't understand that part. I mean, social media dating is not something that I would suggest for everyone to do. Some people like that. That's not what I do. So I just like catching the scammers and the men that's married that's in the DM. So I could tell your wife that you're trying to cheat on her in the DM. I'm just saying that's what I do.
I hear what I'm saying now. Now, I think, and you could disagree. I think that it's weird to ask somebody. First of all, that's a great way to figure out if they're a scammer. But if they're not a scammer, that's mad creepy that you're asking me to come on to video and I don't even know you. So here's what we're gonna do. Wait. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's stop DMing people and just being like, "Hey, gorgeous, what's your social security number?"
Right.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't, please.
Well, you know, then the other thing I do is I call you every time somebody get in my DM. I yell out, "B, somebody in my DMs." So I do that because I want to make sure that folks know it's people here scamming. It's time to have fun. F2G is that team that, listen, we will pass the phone around and mess with you. Don't come in our DMs talk crazy. That's what we do. We are always ready to get at you. You know, because you know that ain't of God. That ain't Jesus doing it. That's you just
not.
getting
That
at
is
me.
not of.
But we
That
gonna
is
make
not
those
of the
things
Holy
it's
One.
hard to do on other people. And then I'm
Listen.
gonna screenshot your page and post it on mine and tag it scammer.
Wait a minute. Wait. Repeat that again.
I'm gonna screenshot the page with the person's
Mm-hmm.
picture on it, and I put it up on my page and I tag it scammer. And if that person that's in my DM is married, I do the same thing and tag it married women, and I tag all my female friends in. Here you go.
That's very.
You
Listen.
gonna stop playing with God. We don't play with God like that.
We gonna stop playing with God's anointed. What?
Yes, the anointing of God rests on me to be able to
Oh
do this.
Lord,
Deal
touch
with
not
it
my anointed and
and
enter
do my
not her
prophet.
DMs. I
Listen
just
here. I'm just gonna,
hot mess. Listen, well, we love that y'all have been rocking with us with this tomfoolery for 20 minutes. And we appreciate y'all for everything that y'all are doing. We have the one and only Falicia Jones, and I love the fact that we got she just saying like a yes, like it's just like
yes,
yes ma'am, like you get it's like
now, her
like
energy is amazing. I met Felicia in Atlanta, like I said, at the Women's Writers Retreat. And it was amazing, just her energy in itself. Sweet woman, very forward. Like she will say what she needs to say and just move on. But it was just her energy and then her business. And she had these products that was amazing. So we were out and had a chance to talk during the time. And I think for the Writers Retreat was when we all became into a place where we were open emotionally, so we got to learn each other a lot, and I really missed like the ladies from the Women's Rights Retreat. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I saw that she was going back to school and she had been talking about this. So we gonna see how that came about and what happened with that.
well, listen. Before we get to that, we're gonna take a quick break, and as a token of situations, I wanted to play this song that I
Mm.
think is very
Oh,
important for the situation. It's called "None of My Business" by Andy Mineo. Y'all make sure y'all know I had to clown. Y'all know that I had to clown. Make sure that y'all are staying tuned because we have the one and only Falicia Jones with us, and she's gonna be with this foolishness for the next maybe 30 minutes. My God, right here on F2G Radio net.
Let it bother me, that's my problem. Hey, and I got enough problems. Look, I got enough. Why everybody wanna take one up? You ain't pray for me, you ain't take one up. When they don't know the story, they just make one up. Hey, gossip, stop it. Why you wanna talk to me about it? Go tell he or she about it. That's none of my business, leave me out it. Instead of subtweeting about it, don't FB, just be about it. You acting like a F, boy RD. If it weren't for God, I'd destroy your teeth. I got anger issues. Watch for the people that's hanging with you. Bad company be corrupting a good character. You supposed to own a company, instead you're sitting on your dairy. You're in a pair of your boxes, playing warfare in your Xbox. You work in a pet shop, still couldn't beat your terrier. And on top, what's scarier is how you been engaged for 10 years and still haven't married her. My bad, I got sidetracked. Look at me, get a hypocrite, huh? I criticize them when I got my own thing to be fixing. Listen, that's none of my business. What they think about me, that's none of my business. What they say about me, that's none of mine. That's none of my business. That's none of mine. That's none of my business. That's none of mine. We don't really care what you talking about. That's none of my business. What they say about me, that's none of my business. What they think about me, that's none of mine. That's none of my business. That's none of mine. That's none of my business. That's none of mine. We don't really care what you talking about. That's none of mine. That's none of mine. Yeah, that's none of mine. That's none of mine.
Hey, we are back. So excited to have you with us on F2G Radio. I am Tanisha, CEO of everything F2G. I'm also a co-founder along with you. And we are so excited that you are joining us because we get to actually bring this beautiful spirit of amazing woman. Listen, y'all, I am not gassing. I'm so serious. She is beautiful and amazing. Love her so much. Enjoy just the time that we got a chance to hang out. Right, y'all. We haven't seen each other in years, but we follow each other on Instagram and social media. Watching her grow has been amazing for me. So right now we are bringing on to you and introducing to a lot of you, and for those of you who don't know her, and then also bringing her out to all of her friends who are supporting by listening right now, Miss Falicia Jones. Hey.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. I'm just making sure
Okay,
everybody else
good.
can. Yes.
I
are
can't
you?
hear you. I don't know what happened.
Really?
Somebody tried to call, and I guess it messed up my
You might
sound.
need to
But
go
as
out
long
and
as you
come
can
back
hear
in.
me. But
Can you
then
hear
if you
me?
ask me a question, I might not be able to hear you as well.
Right. Give us 1 second. Let's fix that. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Let me see if we can fix that really quick. 1 second. All right. So listen, y'all, on the radio right now, we are asking Miss Felicia to go out and come back in because she said a call might have came through. Listen, we know that happens. Y'all have seen me flop off and come back in. So I'm pretty sure she's ready to go. Oh, she here. She can hear me. All right. Let's bring her back up, Miss Felicia Jones. Hey, Boo.
Hey,
How are you?
girl, I'm doing good. Y'all had me cracking up over here. I just want to let you know.
Listen, this is the way F2G Radio happens all the time. And a lot of people don't know, and you probably remember me talking to you about him. That is my only
Yep.
born, that is B Snow, and that one keeps me on my toes. So amazing to have another mother come on to represent that when they adulting, they supposed to be adults. Amen.
Amen.
Adulting with assistance.
That's in the word.
Listen, leave and cleave. Leave and cleave. But I am excited to have you on with me. I know that we tried to get you on and tried to get you on last month, but we were able to get you on today. And so for me, it's an extended Women's Appreciation Month. I appreciate you. I love you so much. I watch you on Instagram and I just been like, look at her showing out. Just acting up. What has been going on with you since Atlanta? Like I know that we talked about being open. And when we were in Atlanta, like I think that was the most open time that I've ever been. So what has been going on with you since then?
Girl, a lot.
Oh my
A lot. I think since Atlanta, there's been definitely a roller coaster in my faith walk as well as my life in general. So much been going on. I went through like my mom passed and I was
God.
going through a divorce at the same time in
Yeah.
2020. So it's kind of just been up and down, but like at the beginning of this year, something happened. It's just like acceleration and God just been doing like so much.
Oh my goodness. So before we get into all of the good things that God has been doing for you first, my condolences to you about your mom.
Thank you.
Um, I really want to. I want to say sorry about the divorce, but because I know we talked before, I'm like this. Amen. Forward. Amen. So I want to know. So can you tell the people that are listening with us, tell them a little bit about who Felicia is?
Oh man. I am as real and I feel like as raw as they can get. I really live like a life of transparency because I feel like my life, the things that I go through, those experiences are not just my own. I just feel like God put me on this earth to be a blessing and a testimony to someone else. So a lot of times I tell all of my business, but in hopes that like I can pull somebody else out with me.
Yes, and that's the way I am too. I'm like I am an open book. Sometimes people want me to close it, but no, we just we kind of get in depth because that's the way we grow. When we're
Yeah.
real, people can grab and see themselves in what we've gone through and how we got out, and they can follow us in the pathway out. Or either we putting it out there for somebody to help us out, and that
Yes.
person can grab us to pull us out too. So that's
Amen.
amazing. Oh my gosh. So I want you to tell people you have gone through a lot. What was it like growing up?
I would say growing up for me, um, I was literally just sharing this story with my son because he has to switch schools in the next year,
Wow.
and because we're going to be moving, and I was like, I'm very sensitive to that because when I grew up, I went to like 12 different schools. Like literally every year, I went to a different school. Some of it was because we just moved around a lot. Mom was a single mom. Relationships just weren't stable for her. I remember being in like homeless shelters with her, battered women shelters with her. So we just literally went from pillar to post most of the
Yeah.
times, for lack of a better terminology. But so that did not give me the best foundation, I would say, to be successful when you think of success in today's society. But I just feel like somewhere in me, there's like such level of great determination not to repeat those same patterns or to
Mhm.
allow my children to experience those things. And I feel like she did the best with what she had, but I always was in the back of my mind, like, I do not want to live like this. I do not want to be in poverty. I do not want to be in all of these broken relationships. So, yeah.
That's so cool. I love that you said that because I think that because Brandon and I also through being at the shelter and me losing everything, and I think right before I met you all, we had went through just come out of being homeless, and I was just still trying to get back on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, just listening to you now, I'm thinking like this is the most precious time to be able to say that it makes you stronger. Like
Yeah.
it gives you a full on direct support system for yourself. You become that support system for yourself. You start to learn what you need to do for you and for your family. What's right for you, what's not right for you. And you can kind of discern where you're supposed to go and how you're supposed to do it. Some people don't line up, but there are people like ourselves who actually get in line
Yes.
with what God has called us to do. And we make it better because we don't ever want our children to have to go through what we went through, you
Yes.
know? And so that is amazing. And you are such a strong woman. I love this. I had to look down to make sure that my publicist is like, yes, I can hear y'all clearly. So, amen. Um, so
Yes.
now you said that was growing up and moving around and going from place to place, but you moved into a place of I want you to kind of explain it because I know that your story leads you into a place where I found myself after 10 years of a life of depression. So,
Mm.
how did that come about?
I would say, honestly, I feel like I was depressed most of my childhood. Like when I really had time to reflect on it. And I think it was a lot of what I was going through. I had like very low self esteem, even though like I was like this big.
Yeah.
And I was just seemingly from the outside looking in, I was an attractive young lady, but I just struggled with low self esteem. I was molested when I was 5 years old. So I became very promiscuous after that, just wanting to be loved. My father and I didn't have the best relationship growing up. So I just feel like there was just like things that just kind of kept me down. I remember specifically when I had my mom even let me go stay with an uncle in North Carolina. And when I was staying with this uncle, I felt like things were kind of changing or like going in the right direction, but I still like went back to those bad old habits of just isolation, depression, just low self worth. I used to cut myself, like I just wanted to die. Like I just was like, why am I here? So I used to like just cut myself, and then it's crazy because when I would do it, I would like wear long sleeves to cover it up. It's not like I would do it
Mhm.
and be like, oh, look what I did. And then the
Right.
fact that nobody noticed that I was doing it, like something clicked in my head, and I was like, "You're doing all that to yourself, and they still don't notice you." So, yeah, let's get life together, sis. Like,
Yeah.
let's get it
And so let's
together.
dive into the cutting part because we know that we have several. I have a lot of young adults and
Mm-hmm.
younger teenagers that listen to the show and they also watch like on the replays. And so we had them ask about things where it's what do you do if this happens to you? What do you do if you're mentally unstable? What do you do if you feel like you don't have anybody? And we kind of talk about that a little bit on Clubhouse as well when we're over there for you because I've never been in that situation of cutting. I've known people who do it, but I've had people tell me like, okay, well, the cutting part is to numb the pain that you're already going through. Is that true?
That's
Yeah.
absolutely correct. It's like a distraction, and I feel like once you've built up enough urge to do it that first time, it becomes an addiction, so to
Yeah.
speak. So it's like temporary pain, but then it kind of takes your mind off of the internal pain and like the long term pain and stress about what you're going through. I do feel like some of it for me, I can't really speak for other people, was to get the attention that I thought that if I did this or if I said that I wanted to hurt myself, that I would get that love and attention from my parents or my guardian at the time was my uncle. Like I was just seeking love, and I felt like if I did things to myself that they would want to know why, or instead of me just coming out telling them what I was going through, I kind of just wanted somebody to ask me, how are you feeling today, Felicia? What's school like? And then maybe I could have just opened up, but everybody's just busy about their day, going about what's going on with them, and nobody's like taking the time out to be like, how are you doing today? Like, I never really had that. So I almost felt like if I did all of these things, acted out, I used to get in trouble a lot at school. I'm like, well, maybe I'll get some attention better than none. Like, that's
Right.
kind of how I saw it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so because I want to make sure that we're clear for those who are listening, for my young people that's out there, cutting is not a substitute for the hurt that you're going into. All you're doing is bringing on an additional layer of hurt. So you just literally add it on to what you're already dealing with. So you're not coming out of anything. We definitely want you to understand that you need to go talk to somebody. Counseling is always available. You want to make sure that you're speaking to somebody. You can tell your doctor, you can tell your teachers, tell an adult, your parents, speak to somebody, let somebody know what's going on. But we want you to know that there are other people out here that are going through what you're going through. And that's down to tattooing sometimes for people does the same thing. There are people that do it for art, then there's people that do it for the same kind of pain relief. So we definitely want you to know that that is available for you. Okay. Within that, the movement of being seen, because of the way you were saying about I want them to notice me, I want them to know what's going on with me and actually ask me how I'm doing. I understand that because I literally lived in the house with four other people and felt like I was the only person at home. And so I was like, this is like so weird. If I'm not being beat on, I'm literally like the only person in the house and nobody's talking. So I want to know from you, like, how is it that you came out of that? How did you start to make your transition? And what do you think caused it, the transition?
Mm. So after that happened, I just feel like it took a while. I ended up getting kicked out of my uncle's house in North Carolina. He sent me back home to live with my mom. As soon as I got back home, I got pregnant. Like, as
Wow.
soon as I got back home, I got pregnant. So just really had to like grow up at a very, very young age. I think when I found that I was having a child, um, something inside of me was like, I want better for myself. Which is how I ended up becoming a nurse. Now, I never thought I would be a mental health nurse, which is actually my specialty now.
Yeah.
But I just knew I wanted to help somebody. So I went to school, and like everybody was like, oh, you don't need to be going to school. You have a child. Da, 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 da. But I knew that if I did not go to school as planned, that I would enter into this cycle of these in and odd jobs. Because at that time I was working at Wendy's and I didn't have a car. I would have to walk a few blocks to go to Wendy's to go to work. And I wouldn't get off till like midnight. I'm walking home at midnight by myself, and I'm like, mm-mm. So I enrolled in school for nursing school, and that wasn't easy either. And I found myself in my schoolwork, like in that program. I almost feel like the people that I were around, I had like a lot of really good mentors. At the school, people just really supporting me and mentoring me. A lot of them I still actually communicate with today. And they just were like really wanting to see me successful. Sometimes I wouldn't even have a babysitter, and my college professors would let me bring my baby to class with me.
Yeah.
So like they just really like wanted to see me win, and having that type of support in my corner when I felt like nobody cared, that was huge for me. I think that was like the turning point in my life, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's like most amazing thing. I think for me in high school coming out, it was the counselors that I had. My godparents actually ended up being one of the administrators and one of the counselors who ended up getting married right when I was graduating high school, and they have been the support for me even since then and throughout my adulthood. So I understand how strong it is, or how important it is for you to have a strong support system. So let's talk a little bit about you after you've gotten into school and you're starting to get things better. Did it get better, or was there a lot of things that you had to go through to even get there? Because I want to get to the divorce because I know that played a part in a lot of things as well, but I really want them to understand who you were growing up, like getting into that adulthood stage.
So getting there, I think school was hard. I was like the curriculum in itself was hard, but I think the personal issues made it harder. I was in a relationship that was very toxic, and that made created its own challenges. And then just trying to manage that with schoolwork, not being able to work because nursing was so demanding. But God actually, I got saved like my second year in college. And after I got saved, I thought my life would get better. I think a lot of us think that oh, salvation is the answer. It's the
Yeah.
key. It
Yeah, boo,
is the
you still
key
got to
to
go through
our
the
heart,
process.
mind. Yeah, but like you still got to put in the work. You still
Yeah.
have to show up. And I think that once I did get saved, my perspective about life changed. So all of that stuff that I was harboring, that unforgiveness and resentment and just bitterness that I had carried, all of that depression that came along with me into salvation, God just like kind of wiped that away.
Wow.
And then I just ended up um, in this relationship that was like what I thought I wanted, which kind of
Mhm.
led to my marriage. Um, yeah, so like it was weird. So I was talking to this guy that I really liked, right? And then I was also I was in a relationship with my ex husband at the time. So we ended up
Okay.
breaking up when I got saved because he was lying a lot, and I just it was a lot. So I felt like he couldn't be truthful, so I broke up with him. Well, me and this other guy started dating, super godly, amazing guy, and
Oh,
we just kind of like I don't know. We wanted it so bad for each other. Like it was long distance. So we couldn't make that work. So we ended up breaking up. I was stressed out with school, child. I could not manage no long term relationship, long distance relationship. I couldn't, even though I liked him a lot. So then we ended up breaking up. We just kept disagreeing. And I ended up going back to my ex. Well, because I just felt like the timing was right. And we were like, I was telling him like the things I wanted in my husband, and for that time, that short time, he was those things.
yeah.
But we didn't live together, we didn't shack up or anything, so it was hard to really see how he was. All I can see is what you portrayed to me when we're in person, right? So then when we ended up getting like closer together, we got engaged.
Okay, because I'm reading your lips. Nope, I can't hear you. You might have to go out and come back in. Nope. All right. So was she her sound went off again, but she'll be right back in. So we want to continue this. Listen, y'all, this show right here is amazing for me to see someone come from the back ends of everything that has happened in their lives to moving forward and going through traumas like cutting themselves and going through things like loss of a parent and a divorce. This woman has struggled throughout her life and is right here to tell y'all that you can make it too. So we're gonna bring her right back in and continue on. There she is.
Hey, I actually had my phone on do not disturb, but everybody decides to call me today.
Yeah, well, one thing I found out recently, because I do that too, your favorites can get through when it's on Do Not Disturb.
You are right, and that both the times that was my favorites.
Hmm. Yes, I'm like, I'm gonna have to turn these favorites off
I'm
when
gonna
we do
turn it
it.
off. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I want to make sure that we continue on with the conversation. So you were talking about your relationships and the adjustments there.
Yeah, so I just kind of got into this little situationship that I thought was of God. And what happened was we were like walking in, well, I was. Later I found out he wasn't. But nonetheless, I was walking in purity and trying to keep myself into my marriage. So with that, there's still like the lust of the flesh and all of this stuff. So we would like be very intimate and close. And then we eventually became intimate. Well, the Lord fixed me and gave me a child. and
Oh my goodness. How you do it to you?
So I was so ashamed, embarrassed. I'm new in the faith. I'm like talking about God, talking about how you're supposed to keep yourselves for God and all of this stuff. And then I end up pregnant again. So I was more concerned, honestly, about what my church family would say and how people would perceive me that I married this man,
Wow.
knowing that there was some infidelity there because I had found this out while we were engaged. But I was like, I'm just gonna try to give it a chance. I'm pregnant. Like, I don't want another baby daddy. Like, I'm just not
Right.
doing that. So I was like, I'm just gonna try to make it work. And that's how I allow myself to get into this God-forsaken marriage, because it was not God ordained. It was just me just saying what I didn't want. And then I had the influence of my parents at the time. My mom, she was just like, he's a good provider. He can take care of you and your children and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of people look for. But when you grow a little and you get into some stuff, you know that those qualities don't mean as much as like having somebody who's God fearing and loyal and faithful and can pray for you and cover
Right.
you. Like, those are the
Yes.
things
Come
that I
on.
need.
That's that list, honey. You read my list because I'm still waiting on mine to come. So my list.
Yes,
Come on, talk.
now.
So okay, so let's jump a little bit ahead. You divorced him. Are you married now?
I am not married now. I am
Okay.
very much single. Hence how I ended up writing this book, because I was like, God, the next time I get married, I'm going to do it the right way. So
Yeah.
I would start praying for my husband. And I would just like go into my quiet place, my secret place, and I would just start saying different things like, Lord, I pray for his finances right now. I pray for his career. God, I pray that he's happy in his job. God, I pray against any mental attacks that he may be going under. So what I started doing was I started writing it down. I said, this is good. Let me write this down. So I started writing down all my little heart in this journal. And that journal became a collection of prayers, which kind of
Oh,
prompted the book that I wrote this year called Cover Him,
yeah.
Strategic Prayers for Your Future Husband. So that's kind of where that book was birthed, through a situation that I had to overcome.
Amen. Well, congratulations on your book release. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited about this. So, where can we purchase the book? Because I haven't
It's
gotten
on
mine yet.
Amazon. The link is definitely in my bio. So if
All
anybody
right.
who's looking for that, you can follow me on Instagram at Nurse My Health. And it's on Amazon. You just type in Cover Him, and you're gonna see it. It's amazing. I also have like journal pages in there. So like after each prayer is lines for you to like make the prayers your own for your own
Yeah.
situation and tailor them to what you want to ask God for regarding your future spouse.
Come on, you better give room for growth. Cause listen, that's
Amen.
growth. When you start seeing the stuff that you write down, it does something to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like literally like I am writing this for myself. This is what I expect from my life. God, breathe on this because I'm
Yes.
asking, or tell me no. And so I'm loving this. Okay, so how long did it take you to write the book?
No lie. I wrote that book in less than a month. It was a supernatural
Really?
experience. Like God downloaded it in, and I just would write, and then I would go to sleep, and I would wake up, and I would write, and I just wrote it out in one sitting. Now I'm working on my second book, and I'm like, God, why this one not coming as easy?
He was like, that was the right then book. Now we in the right now for the
Yes.
next.
Look at my
Yes,
book.
I love it. Y'all see this? Now I'm talking to the people that will be watching this on the restream or on the replay. This is going to be amazing. This is her book. Cover Him right here on Amazon. So we are showing you exactly how to get it. Make sure you purchase this book. I do always ask this question because I know that Amazon, the way that they set it up, you pay a portion into them when they buy. Do you sell books like on a website for yourself, or is it just on Amazon?
Currently, it is just on Amazon. I think at the time, I wasn't ready. It was not, I was just kind of dragging my feet, but I'm currently working on my website. It should be up early May. And then I'll be selling through my website as well as Amazon and other local bookstores in the area.
Awesome. Oh my God. I'm so excited for you. Like this is amazing. I mean, to get here, can you tell the people more about what you do as a nurse? I know we got like 5 minutes before the show ends, but we're gonna use this on you.
Definitely. So I am a registered nurse. My specialty is behavioral health and mental health. I work with adults, geriatric, as well as adolescent patients who have diagnoses such as schizophrenia, bipolar, eating disorders, mania, anything like that, some behavioral disorders and things like that. I love it. I've been doing it for about 6 years, and it's truly a different level of rewarding work. I get to use my testimonies, I get to use use a lot of skills with them. It's a lot of one-on-one engagement. It's really like very, very, very rewarding. And I use my experiences in my past to kind of cultivate this area
Yes.
for me, and like it just has grown on me for sure.
Yes, I love that. I'm trying to get look, I'm over here like, oh, bring up the picture. She got a picture of her in her coat. So be if we have that picture, can you bring that one up? I want people to see this. And this is not being funny at all because on the show we talk about how we love all of our brothers and sisters, no matter what color they are. But representation is always great for us because we're not on a lot of platforms. And so
Hmm.
I would love for people to see. I want the children to see that you Greg got distracted. I just saw that the broom is behind me. I'm like, what is that? Okay. It take me to get distracted off little stuff. Okay, so I want them to actually see that with everything that they're going through now, and even adults, because there are some of us that are in our 40s and 50s that are still going through the same things that you've gone through life, that we can still make it out. And it's never too late to go back to school. Go back to school, get what you need to get for yourself. Take the time that you need, go part time. But look at where she's at now. After all of that, God still helped her get to where she was, and she stayed faithful and even stronger. Because listen, when you go on Instagram and you look at her page, there's some motivational videos she's been putting out that I go on there on purpose to see. I'm like, you are quick. Like this is that 1 minute. Let me help your understanding out real quick so you can get to your next. I love those. What motivated you to start doing those?
God.
Yeah.
I would say like I really try not to speak on a topic unless God gives me a word. That way I know I'm not saying anything of my flesh, but it's all like spirit led.
Oh
So
my.
God gave me like I think I was doing like a 21 days something when I was doing all of those motivational videos. And
Yes.
like those took off better than I thought for sure. I did not
Yes.
think that the Lord would like move like that. But a lot of people started. I gained like almost 1,000 new followers just based on those videos alone.
Oh yeah,
And
because they're
I,
motivational and they actually encourage so much. Y'all see how pretty she is. I mean, y'all see her naturally, and then over here, she is showing out. I promise you. I guess coming from where we were, and like I said, when you open emotionally, it does not look the same. Now she's always been beautiful, but when you're open like that, you're and vulnerable to what's happening in that moment. We start to look like what we've been through for a moment, and then we come out of
yes,
that and then we're looking better than what because we left it behind. And I think that's where all of us was coming out of that room, because y'all, we spent hours in there just laying on
hours
each other
praying.
hollering. We were in there just getting it all out, like here it
Yes,
is, we are wailing.
crying
But
like babies.
yes. I love the camaraderie in that. Even though we had just met, we all kind of came together like we were all family. And the
Yes.
prayers for each other and making sure that everybody was covered was amazing, which I feel like became that sisterhood for us. So no
Hmm.
matter where we are, what we're doing, and if we don't talk personally, we're still following each other, because I think everybody is on my page, because I
Yes.
get every once in a while a couple of messages. And so just a shout out to Carolyn Robinson. Thank you.
Yes.
Carolyn Roberts, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for putting that together. Her and Cal, her husband, that was amazing. Okay,
Yes.
see what you triggered. Now I'm gonna have to get them on the show because this just
Seriously, you got to get them on the show.
now I gotta get them on the show so people understand what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, but thank you so much, Felicia, for coming on. I appreciate you. We gotta have you back. I want to have you back. And I'm gonna say this on the radio because I know if I say it out, and then I put it out in the atmosphere, but also make sure that I hold myself accountable.
Yes.
I want to bring you back for a roundtable that we're going to be doing with our Must Queens. So I'll make sure I get that information to you, because I think that you would be an amazing person to be on there. It's a discussion amongst women where we talk about different things like mental health. And so I want to bring a professional on that can make sure that everybody understands where the other person is coming from.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for the opportunity, for sure.
Oh no, so excited. Thank you for coming on. And listen, get her book. Y'all make sure to follow her. Y'all got her information. We've been posting it up. She's put the information up. When you watch it on the replay, you'll be able to see her Instagram. Make sure you follow her. Make sure you're following her and buy her book and leave a comment. Listen, when you go on Amazon, there's rules to this. Here's it. Okay? You go on Amazon, you buy the book, you read the book, you leave a review. Why?
Amen.
Because that brings more people to her page.
Mhm.
So y'all, let's support one to another. Make sure you are following Miss Falicia Jones. We appreciate you at Nurse My Health. Let me wait before we get off of here because we're supposed to be ended. How did you come up with Nurse My Health?
I'm a nurse, and I'm really focused on like my physical, spiritual, and mental health right now in this season, and God just gave me that too.
Nurse My Health. Let me tell you, I'm gonna talk to you off air because it's something just dropped in my spirit. I'm gonna tell you about this off air because I'm a believer in making sure you get it direct. But listen, this has been an amazing show for me. I love you, girl. I truly do. And I want to make sure that you all are joining on and checking out everything that she's doing. We're gonna jump off because it's 6:00 p.m. But make sure you're joining us at 6:30 p.m. right there on Clubhouse. Y'all know where to go. It's at F2G.network. So make sure you're on for the after show. Where's B Snow? Where you at? Because you be starting stuff. Because he'll start up. There you go. All right. So we are going to separate here, but I will definitely be in touch with you. Miss Falicia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me.
All right. Have a blessed one.
You too.
So, all right. We are out of here. We are leaving off, y'all, and we are going to be on time because we talked about this. Being on time is godly. Okay. So we on time. We're going to be on Clubhouse at 6:30.
Said being on time is godly. First of
It's
all,
godly.
that whole interview was bomb. Like,
Everything. That was yeah.
it was an
I
amber.
enjoyed that.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, this is the time. I mean, not even just the reconnection with a sister, but somebody that I call a sister, because there's a difference between my sisters, that I actually say are like blood, my sissies that are closer to me than anything, but they're sisters that I have in faith who have come because God put us together in places like this retreat. And when I say we cried over each other, I mean there's pictures out there of us literally laying on top of each other crying. And so for me, this interview in itself just poured out everything that I was hoping had happened in her life. It just formulated and came forward. Because when you have a spirit like hers, you can't be put down to be down. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all are following Falicia Jones at Nurse My Health. Y'all, we are F2G Radio. This is F2G Friday. And we back. I'm so excited. We out of here, y'all. Did you get Paul PD?
No, I didn't. I'm right here.
Where you go?
I had a moment. I didn't. Okay, I didn't leave off. Mighty God. No, that's not how we. You're not supposed to close out like that. All right. So we love you guys so good. Make sure you guys are following us on patreon.com/F2G, and make sure that you are also following us on all of our social media handles. That is at F2G.network, at F2G.radio, at F2G.ent, and at F2G.apparel. We will see y'all soon. Love y'all. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
So crazy, look, my God made a way for me.
Turn me up.
Only going up, would you pray for me? Only begun, just wait and see, yeah. Hey, knock, knock, knock. Yep, I heard the block is hot. Wait, that might be the ops. Wait till we get to the top. Look, wait a sec, shows it out the check. Still got no regrets. Boy, my pap been set since 1997. When you in the set, but you ain't from the set. Never fit in that, so it's really till I'm dead.